What's up you guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Millie. If you've never seen me before, then hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be giving you guys, I'm quite excited actually, I'm going to be giving you guys a cheeky little charity shop book haul. I'm not being funny, going to a charity shop is really good because you can get such cheap books, but it also means you kind of end up picking up books that you never would have read before maybe, and this is what this is. I'm like I keep looking down, and it's because I have two, I'm just going to pick up one of them, but I have two massive stacks of books here that I'm looking at the moment because I'm quite excited to go into them. So yeah, it's a very random selection of books, and this is accumulated over a couple of months, I want to say. Every time I go into a charity shop, always look in the book section, always usually end up walking out with a book. It's kind of bad, but yeah. I'm wearing my Noah Khan shirt from when I went to see him live. Wait guys, look at the bag. This is so sick. Look at that. Can you see that properly? Oh my goodness, stop. How cute is that? I'm taking this to camp with me and I'm so excited. Seeing Noah Khan live genuinely was, I'm not religious, and I felt like I was having a religious experience. It was so wonderful. One of my favourite concerts I've ever been to, and I really hope he releases a new album this year. I'm praying, if he surprise releases something during summer, stop, right in time for me to be at camp. Bro, stop. I think this is actually going up, this video is going up when I'm at camp. If Noah Khan has released new music, you best believe he's going to be my top Spotify artist this year. You best believe, okay? I think we should just start talking about the books. It's also going to be very quick fire because I have so many to get through, and some of them I haven't actually read yet. So if I've got a little bit to say about them, I will. If I've not, then enjoy my haul. First one is A Simple Favour because I watched the movie. I got this for 99 pence. Oh, what a steal. I think this is probably the cheapest one I got it for. This was riveting to read. I have read it. Loved the movie, loved the book. Yeah, highly recommend. Second is A Good Face for Radio, which is an autobiography by Eddie Mair, who is a person on the radio. I'm not gonna lie to you, I only read this because I'm studying TV and radio at uni. And I was like, oh, I should probably actually read up about people who are in my industry, and I think it would be quite good to expand my knowledge. I've never heard this man on the radio, and if I have, I was not aware at the time that it was Eddie Mair, but his writing is quite funny. It is just a collection of his mini articles. He used to have a little column in a newspaper. I couldn't tell you which newspaper, even though I promise I have read this book. It's basically just a combination of all those columns, but they're amusing. It's fun to read. Okay, I didn't actually get this whole trilogy from a charity shop. I already owned this first one, and then I read it. I was like, holy moly, that was insane. That was an incredible experience, and realised it was a trilogy. So I went on Vinted and bought these two in a duo book thing. If you've never read this trilogy, the first one's called This Mortal Coil by Emily Sabada. Bro, if you like sciencey, it's not science fiction, but it is like science fiction. It's just kind of an ease into science fiction almost. People grow panel when you're born, it gets inserted into you, and then you grow a panel on your arm, and then you kind of run. You are still human, but you have technology that kind of aids you in being human, and it helps you heal and speed, and there's all these things, and you can get ones that change the way you look, and it's pretty sick. And it's also set in a post-apocalyptic world. Oh my goodness, there's a little bit of romance in there. Incredible. All of the characters they're really well built up, and you really are rooting for the characters, and you really get invested in the relationships that the characters have. It's incredible. Highly freaking recommend. I've got another non-fiction, and this is Travelling to Infinity by Jane Hawking. It's a biography about her life and living with Stephen Hawking, and kind of the family side of things and their relationship and how difficult it was. Another non-fiction is For the Love of Radio 4 by Caroline Hodgson. This was a really dull book. Again, I got this because I was like, oh, I need to read books for my degree, and I need to be that student who goes above and beyond. You don't, it's kind of boring. I wouldn't recommend. This was essentially a history on the radio of thought. Did I read this? Like kind of, but also did I? Next is Salmon Fishing in the Yemen by Paul Torde. This was a pretty sick book, to be fair. I saw this movie advertised, I never watched the movie, and then I saw this in the charity shop and I was like, yeah, okay. Like, I'll give it a go. I'm running kind of low on books. I don't remember it loads, but I do remember enjoying it, and it was like a relatively safe read, like not a lot was going on. It was a little bit inspiring as well, you know, kind of had those vibes to it. I think if I watched the movie, it would kind of remind me of The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which is my favourite movie ever. Now, when I tell you this was a good find in the charity shops for me, I was kicking my feet with happiness. I did like a little leap out of the charity shops. I purchased pretty much the whole Court of Thorn and Roses series from the charity shop. Yeah, I did. And they were all matching covers. Not in the best conditions, like the spines are broken and ripped a little bit, but you know what? I have read these books and I will 100% reread them over and over again, and they're well loved, you know? I got them pre-loved from an owner who had clearly loved them well. I was just beginning to get like the beginnings of TikTok videos about them, and then they blew up and I was like, yeah. So I have the first 3, and then I also have, I don't know where it is, so I couldn't find it, but I know I definitely own it, the little novella, like Frost and Starlight or something, and then I also have read Nesta's book. Oh my gosh, but I can't for the life of me remember the titles. Honestly, I'm not being funny, the titles, remembering for this series, are really insanely difficult. But it is my friend's copy, so I don't actually own Nesta's book, which is a shame because, controversial opinion, Nesta is my favourite character. Yeah, I think she is, I think I relate to her because I am the eldest sister, and I understand her character from that kind of perspective, but I don't like when people are like, Nesta's the worst character ever and she should have learned from her trauma, like Feyre went through the same thing and she turned out alright. I was a bit like, I disagree with that. Could go into a deep dive about it because I think Nesta's character is one portrayal of how people can develop from trauma and have reactions to it, and people are acting like the way she's reacting to those traumas isn't okay, and it's like she has a choice in how she reacts to it and how she should feel, and she's made the wrong choice. If you don't like Nesta, I genuinely think you need to go and reread the books or go and educate yourself and get some real life experience. I'll put it out there. Next is a purchase from eBay that my dad actually got for me. It's called Women Don't Owe You Pretty by Florence Given. Again, this was a huge Instagram book a couple of years ago actually. I'd never really done any research into the author or this book, but I used to do a radio show that was based on kind of women artists and highlighting issues that women kind of face in the everyday world and life. So he got this for me to read, hoping it would kind of like give me some more ideas to talk about. Oh, please can I have a cup of tea? Please can I have a cup of tea? Pa? Did you hear that?
You want to go and check around up there, so we have you for the 3rd time. Billy wants a cup of tea.
Yeah, do you want anything? Living in a family of 5 is wild. Yeah, that's the other thing. My filming location today is kind of not okay. I'm filming in my parents' house because I'm on my Easter break and all my books are at my parents' house because I can't be carrying them back and forth to uni because I read too many books at once. I'm on my like 23rd book of this year already and it's April 6th. What I was saying about this book though is I think it highlights some really good beginner feminist theories and thoughts. However, I personally find the author is far too aggressive and I just don't like her style of writing. I think if we met in real life we wouldn't be mates. I think I would find her really uncomfortable to be around. Just because the way it's written, I feel her narration and her opinions quite strongly, and I feel like she's forcing her opinions on me and almost saying like any other opinion that I have outside of that is not valid. I also know there was a lot of criticism around this book in terms of she stole some ideas from another author, I believe, and kind of profited off of that, I believe is what happened. I'm not really like involved in the book drama community, but yeah, I think if you're beginning out into feminism, maybe it could be a good book, but also I'd be a little bit wary of you might feel turned away from the community because it's such a forceful introduction. Back to fiction, we have The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. I recently just read this year and absolutely loved it. Again, a really good book to movie adaptation. I think the way it's written is very beautiful, and if you're looking for a more, like a book that has more depth to it, I would definitely suggest this one. Another incredible book that I read this year is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. Again, this went just off the rails on Booktok. It was everywhere and I put off reading it for so long. I don't know why, but I think I thought it was about something different than what it is. And I think even the synopsis, it says, "We are liars, we are beautiful and privileged, we are cracked and broken, a tale of love and romance, a tale of tragedy, which are lies, which is truth, you decide." I don't think it necessarily gives away much of the story, so when I read it, it was a lot different to what I thought it was going to be. However, what it turned out to be was so much better than anything I could have imagined. Another non-fiction book is This Much Is True by Miriam Margolyes. So I'm really trying to push myself out of my comfort zone, which, like I said, is young adult, like fantasy romance books. And I picked this up after a recommendation. I was in the Oxfam bookshop that's near my house actually, and I was going wild in there. I think I purchased like 6 to 7 books that day, and I was like making my way to the counter, but I was like, I kind of want one more, you know, like let's just top up the pile. And the guy saw me standing kind of reading this. I'd been back to it a couple of times during my browse, but I wasn't 100% sure if I wanted to read it because again, it's not like the type of book I necessarily reach for. And he said, I really recommend it. This was another huge discovery for me. So I have thrifted pretty much the entire Bridgerton series. I've got books 1 to 6, so I just had to find 7 and 8. This was a really interesting non-fiction read that I picked up, and it's called Rejection Proof by Jia Jiang. This is all about the fear of rejection, and he essentially did a challenge. He did 100 days of rejections, and he would go around and... Millie! I got my tea! I'm so excited. My mug that my friend got me a couple of years ago. Right, let's just put that on there. Oh, my hips and knees can't deal with this up and down. I'm getting old. Rejection proof. So essentially he does a challenge, 100 days, and he does all of these random things. So I think the first challenge he set himself was to go up to a stranger and ask him for like $100 or something like that. But other stuff, he goes and asks for like a job for one day, and this definitely taught me a lot. I remember reading it and being like, whoa, I'm having a revelation right now. I think this might actually be my most recent purchase now that I'm looking at the books I have left. I managed to get this gorgeous, first of all, gorgeous cover of Dune the other day at a charity shop for $1.95, so pretty good. I was visiting my granddad and I was going around, and this was one of the ones I purchased. Another book which I saw going absolutely wild on Booktok, and also they've just made a show with Brie Larson about this, right? It's Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. So I had a friend read this actually. I think she had to read it, she's part of like a book club or something, and I asked her how she enjoyed it. She said she didn't enjoy it too much, but I've seen kind of good things said online, and the TV show looks really sick, so I'm excited to give it a go. I think it's probably going to be a little bit different to my usual genre, which is exciting, but I don't really have much to say about this. This was another, oh my gosh, when I saw this in the charity shop, I like did a quick look round and then I speed walked. I walked rather quickly to the bookshelf section so that I could like snag it in my hands and be like, yes, that's mine. This was a relatively recent purchase as well, for 99 pence. Again, some bloody good steals at the moment. It's Crazy Rich Asians by, oh, the price sticker, who's it by? Kevin Kwan. Sorry, the price sticker was over the name there. I picked this up because I loved the movie. The movie was so good. Okay, we have 2 more. So this is one that I picked up on the same shopping strip as when I got Dune, and it's Then We Came to the End by Joshua Ferris. So I have never heard of this book before. It was just one that I saw on the charity shop shelf, and I sort of gave the synopsis a quick read and I thought, actually, that sounds really interesting. So I'm just gonna read it out to you guys for like, you know, a bit of... They spend their days and too many of their nights at work. Away from friends and family, they share a stretch of stained carpet with a group of strangers they call colleagues. There's Chris Yopp, who is clinging to his ergonomic chair, Lynn Mason, the boss, whose breast cancer everyone pretends not to talk about, Carl Garbedian, secretly taking someone else's medication, Marcia Dwyer, whose hair is stuck in the 80s, and Benny, who's just, well, just Benny. Amidst the boredom, redundancies, water cooler moments, meetings, flirtations, and pure rage, life is happening, to their great surprise, all around them. Then We Came to the End is about sitting all morning next to someone you cross the road to avoid at lunch. It's the story of your life, and mine. And I just thought it sounded really sort of nice, because it sounds like it's about everyday life, and it sounds like it's going to talk quite heavily about sort of relationships and other humans. And I have a great interest in not just in the books I read, but in life in general, of other human beings and their stories and what we can learn from them and our interactions as humans. And then my very last book for this haul, which has been so fast paced, I feel like I've just been yapping non-stop, is Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. So she is obviously the author of Normal People, which I've actually never read or never watched, which is going to be quite controversial, I know. I can't bring myself to read it because I don't want to pay full price for the book. Again, I know, I'm sorry, I feel like I should really be supporting authors, but I just like don't have the money for it. So when things like this, Happy Accidents, and it falls in a charity shop and I see it, you know, then I buy it. But I'm really interested to see her writing style, because I have heard different opinions about it and different views, so I kind of want to give it a go for myself. Thank you so much for watching my video today. Don't know why we've got a little bit of Australian there, but I really hope you enjoyed seeing my money go to all my books. My parents are thrilled. They just love when there's no space on the bookshelf. But subscribe down below if you want to see more content from me. I'm doing camp videos, Camp America if you're interested in that. I'm doing a couple more book videos, kind of slipping it in here and there if people like it. And also a lot of uni videos, because I think by the time this video goes up, it will be summer and I will be away working in a summer camp, and it will all be pre-scheduled videos. But I will be coming back to do my third and final year at university, which is wild. How am I in third year? Like, how am I in my last year of uni? It's not okay. But yeah, subscribe down below and I will see you later. Bye.